What's going on, guys? Hi, Blood here. Just a quick video for those who aren't able to run the game as good as it should be running with the new update for Season 9 and the fact that Blizzard switched to a 64-bit with the update. Here's what I found out, at least for myself. What I did was I went and put the game, if you go into your main launcher, you go into settings, into game settings, switch it back to 32-bit. It's nothing noticeable. The game runs just as it would on 64-bit. Really, it's going to be the same gameplay that you use whether it's 64 or 32. At least I don't notice any difference. So I'm happier to run it on 32-bit until they find out what's causing all the issues with the 64-bit. So check that off, click OK, and run the game what it used to run before the update. So if you had no issues then, you should be back to the normal gameplay you were before. Another way I found out to speed up the game was if you go into settings, systems, power and sleep, additional power settings, make sure you're running it on high performance. Of course, you can make a custom one where you can fiddle around with all the different options, but put it on high performance and your game will essentially run better because it doesn't limit your CPU in terms of the output. This was one of my biggest issues. I was running it on a custom setting and it drove me nuts. I did hours of research until I finally played around with some of the power options and my CPU settings, and I finally was able to pump out the performance I was hoping for. I have a GTX 970 and I shouldn't have any issues to run a game like Diablo 3. I have multiple other games that I run on ultra settings without any issues, and Diablo 3 was giving me problems. The third recommendation I have is Latency Mod. Let me open it up for you guys here, and you can get this. I have the link right here. So if you just go into Google, you type in Latency Monitor, it's the first one. Then you just go to download, scroll down, and you'll see it right over here. What this program does is during your processes or whenever you're running the game, you just hit run, and it'll essentially tell you what's wrong with your system. Now let me just pause this here. If there's any issues with your power settings, it will tell you your power settings are limiting your performance. If there's any issues in your BIOS, it'll tell you that you need to maybe update your BIOS or change something else. If there's any sound issues, I know sometimes even your WAN connection can cause some lag issues with the game. Again, it'll tell you that there's some issues with that. In my case, I cleared out all my known issues that it told me, so I should be good for the time being. If you do fiddle around with any settings, always run it to make sure you are back to where you should be. And one recommendation I have though is if it does tell you there's some issues with your BIOS, be very careful, especially if you don't know what you're doing per se, because any small change in your BIOS may have a huge impact on your computer's performance. So do your research before you start fiddling around with it. And there's multiple videos, and if you even Google the error, it tells you there's gonna be many ways of fixing it, and that's something you guys can do, and hopefully this will help you guys run the game smoother. And of course you can use this for any other game, not just Diablo 3. I hope this will be beneficial to all of you, and leave any comments you have, like, subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you guys in the very near future. Cheers.